Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to create this amazing graphical interface for a virtual interface for coffee machines. So as you can see, what I can do is using my hand, I can select all these selections, whether I want a latte, whether I want a black coffee, or whether I want tea. So all I have to do is I have to select I want a black coffee. How much sugar do I want? I want only 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then which size do I want? I want a large one. So that's how I can select and my order has been placed. And you can see at the bottom here, you can see that all the selections I have made are shown here. So I had the black coffee with 1 teaspoon of sugar and a large cup. So I will show you that again. This is the code, by the way. It's a very simple and very easy to follow code, less than 100 lines of code, and you can achieve this with computer vision. So let me run that again for you. And this time I will do a different selection. There you go. So here I will select, let's say, latte, and then I will select 3 spoons, and you can see it is updating at the bottom. And then I want a medium cup of coffee. And there you go, the order has been placed. Now this project is very intuitive and it is great for learning, great for starting computer vision. And if you would like to create real world commercial apps, then do check out our Kickstarter page, which has the world's first computer vision web development course right now on sale, up to 30% off. In this course, we are going to create more than 30 web apps that will teach you how to create real world applications that you can sell online, you can monetize your computer vision skills, and you can create cloud-based services. You can create your own computer vision ideas, whether it's shirt size measurement, whether it's automated MCQs grading for kids, or whether it's a pistol detection, or whether it's any custom object detection or object classification. You can pretty much do anything on the web, and this has not been possible a few years back. Now the technology is here and you can do a lot of things with computer vision web development, and you can bring it directly to the market. That's the best part. So do check it out. If you can, share it with your friends. If you can pledge, if you can back it, then go ahead and do so. But if you cannot, do share our mission with others so we can grow and bring it to reality. So let's get started. This video is sponsored by Rise. Rise is a time tracker that helps you improve your productivity. It's a desktop app available both on macOS and Windows that automatically tracks and categorizes the time you spend on certain websites and apps. It provides insights and analytics so you can understand where your time goes, improve your focus, and build better work habits. Rise comes up with many features such as tracking time automatically without needing to start and stop timers, weekly and daily reports, creating custom categories to personalize your experience, break notifications, overwork notifications, and calendar integration with Google. I personally have been using Rise for a while now, and every time I see my stats, I find something interesting insights related to my work routine. So if you would like to build better work habits around taking breaks, preventing burnout, and staying recharged, then do check out Rise. You can try it for free and maximize your productivity. The first 1,000 to sign up using my code Murtaza's Workshop or the link in my description will get 25% off their first 3 months with Rise. If you would like to level up your computer vision skills, do check out our premium courses that are available on our CV Zone platform. Links are in the description. So without further ado, let's get started. So here we are in our PyCharm project, and the first thing we will do is go to File, Settings, and we are going to install the libraries, the packages. So we are going to click on Projects, Python Interpreter, and we will select Add. So here we are going to add CV Zone. So this is the package that will allow us to easily detect our hand. It's a wrapper for MediaPipe, so we have to install MediaPipe as well. And the latest version of OpenCV is having some issues, so we are going to go ahead and install a previous version. So open cv-python, and we will install, we'll specify the version at 4.5.4.60. So this is the one I've tested, it works fine. So we are going to install that instead. We'll wait for all the libraries to install and then we will click OK. So as you can see, we have our coffee virtual interface as the project name. And what we have to do is we have to bring in all the project files. We will look at the project files. We will try to understand what exactly do they do. And then we will move on to creating our project. So here we are going to copy and paste the resources folder. It's very simple. Control C, Control V, you copy and paste. So where do you get this resources folder? You can go to our website, computervision.zone, and the link will be in the description as well, direct to this course. You can click on that and then you have to sign up. So if you have already signed up for any other project, just sign in and you will get all the resources for free. So just right click here and I'm going to show you all these files. What exactly are we working with? So here in the resources, we have icons, we have modes, and we have the background. So let's start with the background. Let's open that up. So this is the idea. We have our Coffee Mania background. So this black area is supposed to be the camera. So first of all, we will overlay our main camera image on this. Then on the right hand side, we have our selections. So we will call them as modes. So here we will have different types of modes. So if we click on the modes, this is the image that we can select. So these are 4 images. So the first one is select your drink. Second one is the sugar level. So 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, or 3 teaspoons. And then we have the size, so small, medium, large. So these are the 3 selections. And then at the end, it will confirm that the order has been placed. So this is the idea. And then you might see that there's another folder called icons. But what exactly is that for? If you look at the background, you have these 3 spaces here. So if we select a drink, we are going to add our selection, whatever we selected over here. So for example, if we selected a latte, then a latte will show here. Then it will go to the next one. Then we selected, let's say 2 teaspoons of sugar. It will show it here. And then at the end, it will show, is it medium, large, or small size? So these are the icons that we are going to use. So if you click here, these are all the icons, very small, 65 by 65. Now, this is an example. You can create your own designs and you can create completely different skin of this project. So it might be of a different, it might be of a restaurant, it might be of a coffee shop, it might not be of, let's say, a restaurant or a food place at all. It could be for a toy shop or anything else you want. So the idea is that we are going to create a very good interface which will be virtual so that you don't have to press any buttons. So all you need is 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, whatever selection you want to add. So this is the idea. We have all this in the resources. Again, you can download all of this for free from our website, which is computervision.zone, and you can go to the courses, or no, it's in the projects, and you can download it from there. Okay, so we are going to delete this. This is in the main file, and as usual, we are going to check our webcam. If it's working fine, then we will move on to the next part. So let's import CV2, and then we will write that our cap equals CV2 dot video capture device number 2. That is the camera number I'm using. You will probably use camera number 0. Then we are going to specify the width and the height for the video feed, because different cameras might have a default capture of different sizes. For example, if you go to Mac, it will use 1280 by 720 as default. If you use it on Windows, mostly it will use 640 by 480. So you have to define what exactly are you using. So our image is going to be 1280 by 720, but our video feed should be 640 by 480. So that is how we have created this background. So this background black area is actually 640 by 480. So we can directly overlay it without making any changes. So here we will write cap.set, and we are going to set prop ID number 3, which is the width, to 640. And we are going to write cap.set. We are going to set the prop ID number 4 to 480. So that's the main idea. We are going to format it every now and then so it looks nice. And then we are going to write while true. What exactly are we going to do? We are going to check the success and the image cap.read, and that is it. Then we are going to write cv2.imshow. We are going to show the image, write the spellings correctly, img, and then we are going to write cv2.wait key. This is to give a delay of 1 millisecond. If you don't put that, it is not going to work properly. So right now, let's just run it and see if it works. And there you go. So now you are getting the feed exactly as we wanted, and everything is looking good. But is it too good? No, this is the wrong camera, my bad. So it is not ID number 2. Maybe let's check ID 1. Because these cameras, I have a lot of cameras, they keep shifting. So that's why. There you go. This is the actual one. So I'm going to push it up a little bit so you can see. I will bring it in the center. There you go. You can see my green screen at the back. I hope it will not keep moving. Let's push it a little bit down. There you go. Okay, so I think that's a good spot. We can stop this. And now we have our first step done. The second step is to bring the background image. So once we have the background image, we can overlay it on top of this. So no, we'll overlay our webcam on top of that background image. So let's go ahead and do that. We are going to write here that our image background equals cv2.imread. And what exactly are we going to read? We are going to read from a file name, and that file name is in the resources /background.png. So this is what we are importing. We are not importing the alpha channel, which is the transparency, so we don't have to give any other parameters. We just import it. Then all we have to do is we have to show this image. So we are going to copy that. We are going to paste it here. We are going to say background, and we will write here image background. So now we will get two images. One of them will be the background image. The other one will be the webcam feed that is continuously updating. So here we have our image, and here we have our background. So now we need to overlay our image, which is exactly 640 by 480. If you just put it here, you can see it is exactly the same size. So we need to push it in as it is. So how can we do that? We will stop this, and it's very simple. We will write here that we are overlaying the webcam feed on the background image. So that's what we are doing. So here we are going to write image background and equals image, just image. So, but that's not true, because image background equals image does not make any sense. So we need to specify where to start and where to end. So the first parameter is the height. So which point are we starting from of the height, and till which point are we stopping? So let me check the values as I have done this before. So to overlay it, we have to start at 139. So this is the height where we start. Then the lower part of the height is 139 plus the image height, which is 640. No, not 640. It's 480. So that's what we add. So here we will say 139 to 139 plus 480. That's how I like to write it. Not because I cannot do the maths, because it will be easier for me to see, oh, that's how I came up with this number. 139 is the starting point. 139 plus 480 will give me the ending point. So that's why I keep it like this. So this is the starting point for the height. Then we have to give the starting point for the width. The starting point for the width is 50, and then 50 plus 640, which is the width. So that's the basic idea. Now this is done. All you have to make sure is this is done before you show the image. So this is for displaying. This is for displaying the image. And before that, we have done the overlaying. So now it should be fine. So let's go ahead and try it out. There you go. So now we have our webcam feed directly exactly at the right point, and we are very happy with that. Yes. Okay, good. So what we are going to do next is we are going to stop this. And from now onwards, we have our image directly on the background. So we can remove this part. So instead of removing, I'm just going to comment it. Maybe later on you want to see something is wrong. You might want to come back and check it out. Okay, so the next step is to add our modes. Now the modes, they are a total of 4 modes. So it's not like that we will import one image and then overlay it and then we'll forget about it. We have 4 images and we need to keep rotating based on the input values. So if the user has selected something, we have to go on to the next mode. Then selected something, go on to the next mode. So instead of importing it one by one and storing it one by one in a variable, like we did in image background, what we can do is we can make a list. And in that list, we are going to add all these 4 images. Now that will do 2 things. The first thing is that it will be easier for us to know where are all the images. We don't have to give a lot of names. The other thing which will be easier is to automate it. So instead of changing the variable name, we will just say whatever the list name is, and we will get its value and we will add it 1. We will add 1 to it. So if it was selecting the 0 number, then it will select the number image 1. Then when we have to change the mode, we can just say +1 and it will change the mode to the next one. So it will be very easy for us if we add a list. So, but to create that list, first of all, we need to know the names. To import, as you can see here, for all of them, the basic part, which is resources and modes, is the same. But the last part is different for all of them. So we need to import those last parts. So how can we do that? We can write here os.list directory, and we need to list it from resources. Actually, let's put a variable here. Folder path for modes equals, we will write here resources, and inside the resources we have modes, and that is it. So we will select folder path modes and we will put it here. So then we are going to simply print it, just for your sake of understanding, so that you can understand what exactly is going on. So let's wait for it. And there you go. So now we have 1.png, 2.png, 3.png, 4.png. So these are the names that are given to these images, and that is exactly what we need to change at the end to import all of them automatically or dynamically. So we are going to remove the print, and instead of the print, we are going to save it in a variable. And not a variable, it's actually a list. So what exactly is the name of that list? It's up to you. You can decide. So what we will write here is we are going to write that it is a list of image of modes. But this is not the actual image list. It is the name, or it is the path. So we will write here path as well. And then we need another list in which we are going to store the actual image. These are just the name of the images. We need to store the actual images in a list so we can retrieve them. So here we are going to simply remove the path, and it will be list image modes. And then we will write equals to empty. So this is where we will store them. So the next part is we go through the loop. So we will say for image mode in lists of image modes. So get each one of them, and then we will write list image modes dot append. We are going to add our image to this list. So we will write here append, and then inside that we will simply write this cv2 imread. But now we need to change the path. So the initial path will be folder for paths mode, but after that we are going to have this name image mode. So this will include 1.png, for example. So we need to add that. So we need to join them. So we can write here os.path.join, and we want to join folder path mode, and we want to join image mode. There you go. So these two will be joined and it will import the image. So now what we can do is we can print image, let's say list image modes. So just to see that if it is if it contains something or not. Let's run that. So it is empty, which is a very bad sign. What happened? Why is it empty? Let's have a look. Oh, okay, there's a mistake here. We're not supposed to loop the image modes. We're supposed to loop the path. So we'll write list image modes path. So image mode path. We will write here image mode path. There you go. So now it should give us some values. There you go. So this is the image that has been filled in. So now what we can do is we can take any of these images. So the starting one is where you have to select the coffee. So we will take that and we will overlay it onto our main image. So this is how we have done it before, and this is how we will do it again. So this time around, the image will be image. This will be list image modes, and we will put in the 0, 1. So this is the first element. And then over here in the starting points, we have to change it. So the starting point will be 0, and this will be 720. And we do not have to do this. And the width is 847, and 1280. So all of this I have checked before. That's how I know this. So now let's run that and see if it works. There you go. So now you can see we have our latte, black, tea, and we have our selection. So this is basically how you can overlay our image. Now, if I wanted to change the mode, it's very easy now. All I have to do is instead of 0, I will put 1, and it will change the mode for us. So let's look at that. There you go. So now it's sugar level instead of the coffee selection. So we will keep it at 0 for now. And later on, we are going to change. So what we can do is we can introduce a variable called mode type, and we will put it at 0. So later on, whenever we want to go to the next selection, we will add 1 to it. So mode type plus equals 1, and that will take us to the next one. So when do we do that is a different story, and how do we do it again is a different story. But for now, all we know is that if we change this, we can change the selection mode. Changing selection mode. Okay. The world's first computer vision web development course is here. The power of computer vision now goes into the browser. Hey everyone, this is Murtaza from the YouTube channel Murtaza's Workshop, which has now over 300,000 subscribers. Thanks to all of you. I have been working in the computer vision field for the past 9 years and have found one big problem. While it's easy to create computer vision projects, it is very difficult to bring them to the market as final products. Trust me, I have over 100 YouTube tutorials on computer vision with Python, which are excellent to get started, but providing it as a solution to a company is extremely difficult and not effective. So now comes the solution. We have created the world's first computer vision web development course. Here you can create your own computer vision ideas and deploy it to the web as web apps. This will allow you to create solutions that can be shared with anyone with just a web URL. no installations, no running behind library versions. Whether you are creating a mass detector for a small company or a traffic analyzer for a governmental project, using computer vision web development, you can create and deploy your computer vision algorithms at ease while maintaining and scaling them. But what exactly can you do on the web? Well, pretty much everything. With the rapid advancement in the computer vision field, now it is possible to run simple computer vision algorithms to complicated custom object detectors right in the browser. This was not possible a few years back, but now the technology is here. But it can be very difficult and frustrating to get started. Here is where we got you covered. We have carefully designed this course to take you from the very basics of web development right up to the point where you can create your own computer vision web apps at ease. This course is not a purchase, but it is an investment. We have designed it for hobbyists, freelancers, and software firms that want to level up their computer vision services. Imagine providing an automated shirt size measurement to a clothing company, or customer engagement statistics to a shop owner, or creating a license plate cloud-based recognition system. This course is meant to monetize the skills that you learn. So what is included in this course? We have split this course into 4 parts. In the first part, Computer Vision Web Basics, you will learn the basics of web development including HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We will go through the integration of computer vision and web development along with the OpenCV basic algorithms. We will also look into creating elegant graphical interfaces for your web apps. This part will include 3 projects. In the second part, Computer Vision Web Advanced, you will learn face detection, body detection, hand recognition, face mesh detection, body segmentation, and much more to create some advanced projects. Here we will create 5 projects to solidify what we have learned. In the third part, Computer Vision Web Expert, we will learn the basics of deep learning with TensorFlow on the web. Here you will understand the fundamentals of object classification and object detection. You will use pre-trained model for testing and then learn to create your own models from your own dataset. This will allow you to create object detection for any type of custom objects. We will also create 3 projects in this part. This part will also contain a free Python course that will make it easier for you to create your own models. The final part, Computer Vision Web Apps, is dedicated to commercially viable projects. We will create more than 20 web apps to get the maximum exposure to real-world applications. These will include automated shirt size measurements, customer engagement, car counter, face attendance, text extraction, AR glasses, face mask detection, pistol detection, and much more. This course is meant to boost your career to new heights. The computer vision industry is expected to be worth $48.6 billion by 2025, with the average salary of a web developer being $82,000 and for a computer vision engineer being $135,000 in USA. The merger of both these technologies is a deadly combination that will soon be in great demand. So it's best to get on this train in the early stages. We will also provide certificates of completion so that you can proudly add it to your resume. We will be using the world's largest computer vision library, OpenCV, along with the most popular deep learning framework, TensorFlow. So you don't have to worry about the latest tools and technologies. And don't worry if you are a beginner who is unfamiliar with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, or even an intermediate programmer who has these skills but needs some polishing. We have got you covered. We created crash courses that will teach you the basics to get started. And only for our Kickstarter backers, we will be providing free HTML, CSS, and JavaScript ebooks along with their video courses to get you started. There is a reason why this has not been done yet on a large scale. It is very difficult to create lots of commercial projects that are optimized to run on the web. Not only that, going through all the bugs and finding their fixes takes a lot of work. But we took the first step and started the process, and now we need your help to bring it to reality. We have written the code for almost 70% of the projects and the basics, and now we need to start production. Although this is a challenging task, we are not new to this arena. We have delivered 8 high-quality and information-dense courses prior to this course that have been sold in over 75 different countries. We are confident that we can deliver this course but need your help to do so. So please join our Kickstarter campaign by taking a pledge or sharing our mission with others. So that's the basic idea. Now, in the next part, we have to detect the hand. So once we detect the hand, then we can use our fingers. We can say 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 fingers, and then it will create the selection for us. So how do we detect the hand? You can use media pipe or you can use CV zone. CV zone is a wrapper which allows an easier access to media pipe. So it has a lot of other functionalities as well, which again I have explained a lot of CV zone. I've created the library myself and I've explained pretty much the complete code, how I created it in different videos. So let's import here, import CV zone. Actually, from CV zone dot hand tracking module, let's detect the hand detector. So in the hand detector, if we press Control and click on the left mouse button, then it will take us to this class. And if you go down, it has all these methods. And if you go to the main, then it will tell you how to use it. This is the code to use it. So here it says first you have to create a detector using hand detector, and you have to give the confidence level and the maximum number of hands. So we will copy this and we are going to paste it here. Now confidence is fine, 0.8, but hands, we just need 1 hand. We do not want to complicate things. Then we'll go back to hand tracker and here find the hand and its landmarks. So we have to do this. Hands and then image detector.find hands image. So this we are going to copy. Let's copy the comment as well. And we are going to paste it below our background images. There you go. Then we are going to go and we are going to detect the hand itself. So if the hand is available, then we are going to do something. So here, for example, we are getting the list, we are getting the bounding box, center point, hand type, whether it's left or right. And then the main thing we are getting is the fingers. So fingers will tell us how many fingers are up. So is it 1 finger, index finger, second finger, third finger? So this is what we need. So we'll copy all of this and we will paste it here. So if hands is available, then we will get our first hand. We don't want all of this. And then we will check the fingers. If how many fingers are up. So let's print that out and we will write here fingers 1 and we are going to run it. So let's see what it does. So there you go. So if I bring in my hand, it's actually not drawing anything. Why is that? So it is not drawing anything because, okay, let's put this before the background image. So then it will draw on the background images as well. There you go. So now it is drawing on the background image as well. And at the bottom, you can see we have all fingers up, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then if I close, all of them are closed. If I put 1 up, index finger is up, middle finger is up, ring finger is up, pinky is up, and the thumb is up. All of them down, all of them up. So this is the information that we need. We need to check if it's this, then it will select the latte. If it's this, it is going to select the black. If it's this, it is going to select the tea. You are right. So let's close that and we will go to our hands. And here we are going to write if fingers 1 equals, we are going to write 0, 1, and then 0, 0, 0. So this means, how many fingers do you have? This means that the index finger is up. So if that is the case, then we are going to say we have selected the first one. Okay, so what exactly are we going to use for selection? We are going to create a new variable and we will call it selection. Let's put it here. Selection equals 0 or selection equals -1. So because 0 is also a selection, so we don't want that. So we want it as -1. So what we will do is we will say that selection equals 1. If that is the case, selection is 1. But we need to start the counter. So we need to check that if you have selected one for, let's say, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, then it means you have selected it, because sometimes you might do it by mistake. So you don't want to select on a mistake and very fast. You might have seen a Kinect selection bar, which is basically round, and when you are selecting, it will go around, and when it finishes, when the circle is complete, it gets selected. So that is exactly what we are going to do. It's a very good design and it is very intuitive, and that is what we are going to replicate today. So what do we need for that? We need a counter. We need to count how many iterations or how many frames have passed by. We will give a limit, and once it has passed by, we will say the selection is complete. So we are going to write here counter equals 0, and then over here we will say that if selection, we need to start the counter only when it's the first time. We cannot, like if you have the finger up, it cannot keep resetting the counter every frame. So whenever it detects for the first time that there is a finger, then it is supposed to start the counter. And if it changes to 2, the counter should reset and then start from 0 again. If I put it back to 1, the counter should reset and start back again. And then while I have the finger up, it should keep counting for that number. So this is the main idea. So here we will say that if selection is not equals to 1 already, then we are going to start the counter. And then we will put selection as 1. Otherwise, this will not keep repeating the counter. It will not keep putting the counter as 1. So that's the idea. And if that is not the case, then we are going to write else. Else in that case, the selection equals 0, or no, -1, and the counter equals 0. So this is the main idea. The selection and the counter both are getting reset if that is not the case, if this finger is not up. Okay, now let's say this finger is up and the counter is 1. Now what? Now we need to keep counting. So we will write here, if counter is greater than 0, then we are going to write counter plus equals 1. So it will keep counting the counter. But what exactly is that doing? It's not doing pretty much anything. So if we write here printer counter, let's just check if our theory is working fine or not. So every time we put our finger up, it will start the counter. If I stop, it stops, and then I put it up, it starts again. So the counter starts again. So that's a good thing. And if I put 2 up, nothing happens because we didn't define what will happen if 2 fingers are up. So if I put 1 finger up, the counter starts, it's 50, 60. So now based on these timings, you can select what time exactly do you want the counter to be at when you want to select as selected. So here we are going to create an ellipse. Now the ellipse is a function in OpenCV that will allow us to create an arc, a variable arc. So when the counter is 0, it will be 0. Then when it starts going up, the counter is counting, then it will go round and round and it will select. So we are going to create an ellipse. So we will write here cv2 dot ellipse. We are going to write here image background. And then here we have to give in the center point. Now the center points for all of these selection points is different. So if you click on the mode, the selection point for this, the center point of this is different, the center point of this is different, the center point of this is different. So how can we fix that? Again, we will create a list in which we will add it. But for now, for the sake of simplicity, we are going to start with a hard-coded value. This is the center point of the first one. So the latte, this is the center point of the latte. So we are going to, when we put our finger 1 up, it is going to point it at that location. So it will create a circle around that location. So then we have to put what is the size of the circle. So in the X and the Y direction, so this is the radius of the circle in the X and Y direction. Then we will put the starting angle. The starting angle should be 0. No, not the starting angle. The angle of the circle. It should be 0. Then we have the starting angle, which will be 0. And the ending angle will be the counter. So we will write here counter. And then we can put in the color. Let's put it as green. So BGR, so 0, 255, and 0. And then the thickness, let's put it as 20. So let's run that and see how it works. So if I bring my finger up, you can see if I remove it, it resets. You can see it starts from 0, which is perfect, which is exactly what we want. But as you can see, it is very slow, and we don't want that. We want it a little bit faster. You don't have to stand there for 1 year just to get a latte. So what we can do is we can create a variable, and we can call selection speed equals, let's say, so this will be a multiplier. So let's say we'll put 5. So we will write here counter multiplied by selection speed. So let's play that. And now it will be much faster. There you go. It still might be a little bit slower. Could be faster, but it's a good value. Like 5, it's good. Maybe 7 will be better. What happened? 7. Yeah, I think this is better. So once we select our finger, it starts and it rotates, goes around. So that is good. Now what we need to do is we need to add more selections. So which finger are we selecting? Are we selecting 2? Are we selecting 3? So here we will copy this, and we will write here fingers, and here we will write else if, and if. So if both fingers are up, then this will be second. If all 3 are up, it will be third. So that's the idea. And then the selection, if it's not equal to 2, counter is 1, selection is 2. Then if selection is not equal 3, counter is 1, selection is 3. So now the selections are different. So if we run that, now it will start the counter each time, but each time it will start the counter and it will create the circle in the wrong place. So if I put 1, it is creating it in the correct place. If I put 2, it still puts it at latte, which is wrong. If I put it at 3, again, it starts, but at latte. So we need to fix that. How can we fix that? We are going to create a variable, rather a list, and we are going to write here, let's call it mode positions. And inside that, we are going to add all our positions. So the position, the center position of this, and this. So I have checked that already, and it is 1136, then 196, then this is for the second one, and this is for the third one. Here it will be 100384, and here it will be 1136 and 581. So these are the mode positions, and then we will use these now instead of what? Instead of this. There you go. So mode positions, and which one do we select based on our selection? So if selection is 1, we select that. If it's 2, then 3. And we can put -1 here because we're starting from 1 and that is starting from 3. So it's pretty straightforward why. So that's the idea. Let me push it down here so you can see better. And yeah, so let's run that. And hopefully this time around, it will go to the correct positions. So if I put one, oh, if I put one, there you go. If I put two, it goes to the black. If I put three, it goes to the T. So that's perfect. 1, 2, 3. So now our points are correct, our centers are correct. But what exactly happens if we have completed the counter? If the counter is complete, then we need to move on to the next mode. So, and that is very simple, by the way. So what we can do is we can check when the counter is above 360, because the angles are completed at 360. So we will write here, if counter multiplied by the, what was it, selection speed is greater than 360, then we are going to move the selection mode. So we will write here mode type plus equals 1. So that is pretty much it. And then we need to reset the counter. Counter equals 0 and selection equals -1. So this is pretty much what we did when it was else condition. So we have to do it here as well. So let's run that and see if it works. So once we select it, it should go to the next image. So let's say we selected latte, and there you go. It goes to the sugar level. And then we select 2, it goes to the third one. Now here we have a little problem. And the problem is that the selection is good, but once we select and it goes to the next one, it keeps rotating on the same one. So for example, if I play it again, so you will see that once latte is selected, it will start selecting 1 again. Then it will start selecting small again. And then order is placed and it keeps selecting. And then it will give an error because there is no more images. So that should not be the case. Once we select, there should be a pause. And once that pause is complete, then we should be able to select the next one. Otherwise, it will keep selecting the same selection and it will be too late for the user to get what exactly is happening. So what we can do is we can call it counter pause. Okay, so here we are going to write counter pause equals 0. And to activate this counter pause, what we are going to write that you will check if the hands are available and the counter pause is 0. It means the counter is not activated. So we are going to write here and counter pause equals 0. This means the counter is not activated. Now, if the counter is activated, then it will not select anything, right? So what we can do is here we can write if counter pause is greater than 0, then we will count for a while. So let's say counter pause plus equals 1, and then we will write if counter pause is greater than, let's say, 40, then counter pause equals 0. So it will wait for 40 iterations and then it will put counter pause 0, which will make it go back to selection. But we did not activate it. When all of this is done, we need to select that counter pause equals 1. So whenever the selection is happening, once it is done, start the counter pause, and then it will not go here. It will go directly over here, and it will check, it will keep counting, and it will not do any of the other things. And then once the counter pause is finished, it will reset it to 0, and then this will be true, and it will run that again. So let's run it. It's a very simple counter, so it should not be a big deal. So let's try to see if it works. So if I put 1, there you go. So I have my finger up, but for a while it did not do anything. So I will put 1 again, and nothing happens. So you can increase this. You can increase it to, let's say, 60. 60 will be about 2 seconds, because the frame rate is 30 per second. So 60 will give you 2 seconds. So if I press latte, and then for 2 seconds, it will not select. And then it will select again. So I have enough time to actually select something. Now I'm thinking, what do I need? What do I need? And there you go. So it will give a good enough pause to actually work with that. And that is very good. Now, the problem is that if I do this, nothing happens. Oh, there you go. Now it still works. And that is a bad thing, because with order placed, it should not work, and it should finish at 3. So how can we do that? Then we can do that by simply writing the number of mode. And here we can write, and mode type is less than 3. So if it's less than 3, then you can keep moving on to the next one. You can select and all that. But if it's greater than 3, then don't do it. There you go. So if I put it as 1, it's good. What do I need? I need 3. There you go. And then I need the large one or the medium one. Let's select that. And there you go. Order placed. And now if I do anything, nothing happens. So all is good. Now, we are pretty much done, but there is one small thing that we have to add, and that is the icons. So now we are going to add the icons. So whatever we selected, we are going to put it in one of these, empty spaces. So the first one will be the coffee, the second one will be the sugar level, and the third one will be the size. So we have all these icons. First of all, we need to bring them in. We need to store it in a list. Like we did over here, we need to store all these images in a list. And then once we have the list, we can select which one do we want based on our selection. So let's go ahead and paste it here. So here we can write importing all the mode images to a list. And here we can write importing all the icons to a list. So that's the idea. So folder path icons. So wherever we have modes, we are going to replace it with icons. So we'll copy that, and list image modes path, we are going to change it to icon. Here we will change it to icon, to icons, and more image mode icons, 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 and icons, and there you go. So let me recheck resources. Here it's modes, so we need to write icons as well. So it's in the icons folder, list image icons path, folder path icons, list image icons path, list image icons path, list image icons, I am read folder path icons, image icon path. So this is very much it. Now we have our images, all of these images in list image icons. So now we need to place them in the right position. So how can we do that? We need to import it, and we also need a list in which we have the correct selection. So each time we are selecting either 1, 2, or 3. But that selection is gone, and we go to the next mode. Over there, it's sugar level. We select 1, 2, or 3, and it's gone. We go on to the next one. We need to store that information. Which one did we select for sugar? Which one did we select for coffee? Which one did we select for medium or large? So the size, we need to save all that. So we need to create a list in which we keep selecting our path. So here we will write selection list, not lost, equals a list of -1, -1, and -1. So these are the selections for now. Whenever there is a selection, we will append it here. So selection list. So whatever the selection is, once it is completed, we are going to say selection list at whatever value. It should be of the mode, I believe. Which mode are we at? So it should be, where is it? Mode type. Yeah. So mode type, at that point, we need to put a value, which is the selection. Okay. So now we have the correct value, the correct image that we want to use in our icons. Now, this is within the loop. Now we will do everything outside the loop. So because we need to keep showing this image again and again for every iteration, we will do it outside. So what we will do is, let's just comment here to pause after each selection is made. Okay, and then over here, we are going to write, over here, we are going to write add selection icon at the bottom. Okay, so first of all, we need to check if our selection is selected or not. So if we add something to it, so we will write if selection list at 0 is not equal to -1. If it's -1, it means it has not been selected yet. It is the default value. If it is not equals to 1, then we are going to do something. What is that something? We are going to take the image and then we are going to place it based on our selection. So here we are going to write that our image background at some value equals icon, image icon, list of image icons, and then we have to select the correct one. So let's just put 0 for now. Okay, so we are getting the very first one. Where exactly are we putting? Again, these are values that I have checked before. So this one will be for this one here. So the center point of this one, sorry, the starting and the ending point of this one. So for, first of all, the height is 636, and 636 plus 65, that's the height, and then 133 and 133 plus 65, that's the width. So if I play this now, whatever I select, it is going to put the latte as the selection. So if I select, for example, black coffee, it will put latte, because right now we are not giving it a dynamic value. It is a value of 0. Here we need to give the correct selection. So how can we give the correct selection? It is from the list that we created, the selection list. It is updated. So we can simply write here selection list, whatever it is, -1. Because you remember, whenever we are giving the selection, it is 1, 2, or 3. But for the list itself, it starts from 0. So we have to add -1. So if we put this now, if I select number 2, it is going to give me black coffee. So if I select 2, and it gives me an error. Why is that? Selection list. Oh, sorry. Selection list at 0. My bad. So we are getting the first value of it, -1. Because selection list itself is a list. So I'll select black, and there you go. Now it gives me black coffee. If I stop and I play it again, it should give me, if I select T, it should give me T here. So there you go. The selection now is T. So that's the idea. Now we have to replicate it 3 more times. We will copy this, we'll paste and paste. So if selection list at 1 and selection list at 2, so that's the idea. And here the values will change. So this will be 340 and this will be 340. This will be 542 and this will be 542. So that's the basic idea. And then here we have to change the selection as well. So it will be selection list at 1, and we will remove this -1 and remove this -1. This will be selection list at 2, and here we will add, because we are not starting from 0, we will start from 2. So 2 plus whatever the value is, and then 5 plus whatever the value is, because our list contains 9 values, 9 images. So here in the icons, you can see all these 9 images. So we did not put it in different lists. All of these images are in the same list. So we have to start from 2 and then from 5. So if I run that again, now it should give me selection for each one of these. So let's run that. Now let's see what I want. I want a black coffee. It gives me the selection black. I want 3 teaspoons of sugar. It gives me 3. And then I want a small size. And there you go. It gives me the small size and it says order placed. And if I do something else, nothing will happen. So that's the idea behind our project. It is very simple and very easy to create these elegant graphical interfaces and use them with computer vision. So this is very easy to get started, and what you can do is you can create these interfaces. But if you really want to create real world applications which you can deploy it and give it to others to actually use, or create a cloud-based system using computer vision, then you should definitely check out our computer vision web development course, which is designed to create commercial apps. So whether you are starting in the computer vision journey or you're starting in the web development journey, it will definitely help you out, and it will allow you to create all these commercially viable projects that will not just give you knowledge, it will also monetize your computer vision skills and let you create apps that actually sell. And you can create your own website, you can create your cloud-based service, you can provide it to companies, you can provide it to schools, offices, and a lot of different places. So computer vision is going in the real industry, and you should not wait to get into the industry. So check out our Kickstarter campaign and back it if you can. If you cannot, just share it with others and let our mission reach others. So this is it for today's video. I hope you have learned something new, and let me know in the comments, what would you like to see next? Do you like these types of tutorials that have graphical interface and it has computer vision aspects as well? If you like them, give it a thumbs up. If you love them, share it with your friends, and I will see you in the next one.